Review. Book 101's all about the books that I've read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's a former licensed financial advisor turned author who spent over 2 decades investing and sitting across the table from thousands of people for new graduates to near retirees, and the author of the book Not Born Rich. No other than Mr. John D. Romero.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here.
Welcome, Mr. John. Book 101 review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
You hit the nail right on the head. I'm 43 years old. My family's originally from Mexico. I'm Mexican American from Los Angeles, born and raised. My father was a construction worker, had 5 sons. So I have 4 brothers. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. And just like everybody else that's an immigrant or children of immigrants, financial services and financial literacy is a struggle. There's, especially in America, I know people struggle around the world, but America is a developed nation and we have equity markets, stock market, and it's really hard to learn how to financially navigate these when you're not born rich. And so I spent 20 years as a financial advisor, and out of frustration of the companies wanting to only help rich people who had a
Mm-hmm.
minimum of $100,000 to invest. I said, what about average people? That's where I come from. I don't come from money. And they're like, no, we don't want those people. We want people that make over 200 grand a year that have $100,000 to invest. I'm like, well, that's not 90% of America, and that's not 95% of the world. So we're not giving advice to people who need it the most. So after almost 20 years, I decided to give up my licenses, write my book, and I'm really trying to create a cause and a mission of getting my name out there, getting my message out there, educating people through my book and through speaking engagements. So that's where I'm here. I'm trying to really just spread this movement of people who are not born rich that have had enough around the world of how do we get ahead for ourselves and our families.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. John. When someone hears financial literacy without financial background, it can feel overwhelming. What is the single most important, non intimidating first step they should take?
That it is actually easy. The system, the puppet masters have made it seem complex, so average people don't get rich over time, so that we stay dependent on their system. And so
Yes.
what I try to encourage everybody is it's not that complex, that you just need to get started. It's time. And for unfortunately, people who are older than 50, they don't have the time to fix anything. The key to understanding money and improving anyone's financial situation is not put away a lot of money for a small amount of time. It's put a little bit amount of money away for a long period of time. And that's why I wrote this book for millennials and Gen Zs and ultimately Gen Alphas, is because we have the time to change our financial situation.
And thank you for doing that, Mr. John. Beyond the math, what are the most common psychological or emotional barriers people have to overcome when they start managing their money intentionally?
That if you're looking to get rich quick, it's almost impossible, right? And that's where most people fail, is because they'll look at their account and they'll see, there's small slow growth, but I need more. But that's luck. You can't plan for luck. If it happens, great, right? If you invest in crypto and you make a bunch of money, right? That's luck. That's not strategy. The average person that has a job and works hard, they can get rich over time, but it's not a get rich quick thing. It's a get rich slow thing. And so I try to inspire people and say, look, especially if you're under 45 years old, when we're 65 years old and at the end of the last chapter of our lives, you will have money to enjoy your last days of earth, the last couple decades we have. And that's when it matters. So you can enjoy your life and not have to stress and worry, and just really look back at your entire career and say, you know what? I did good for us and our family. And that's what people need to overcome, is that it's not a get rich quick thing. Get that out of your mind. It's a get rich slow thing.
Mm, slowly but surely, people. And Mr. John, the rich parent myth. Many feel disadvantaged because they didn't learn about money at home. How did you help people to rewrite that internal narrative and build their own financial foundation from scratch?
That's literally what's inside my book. My book, not only because you'll hear things, especially with social media now, right? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Oh, do this and you'll have money, right? But they don't give the
Mm,
why and they don't give how to do it,
yes.
because most people on social media were never financial advisors. They became financial influencers. So they'll regurgitate a passage, right? But they won't give you the how and the why. And so my book goes through and educates on taxes, inflation, what it really means, right? What it really means to, we hear inflation, but how it's essentially a hidden tax on the public. How by doing everything right, if you don't understand taxes and inflation, goal setting and accountability, it doesn't matter if you're a good person. It doesn't matter if you helped your neighbor or loved your family. Mathematics is unforgiving. Financial services is unforgiving. Retirement money is unforgiving. There's no do overs. And so my book gives step by step of education, taking a complex idea, simplifying it so people can understand and have that aha moment. I know why I need to do this. This makes complete sense. And then it's unbiased, right? It tells you, look, whether whoever you do this through, could be through a company, could be through an advisor, could be through yourself, but it tells you what to go tell your advisor. I want you to do this. And this isn't the things companies tell people, because the financial service industry makes it seem so complex so they could charge clients a fee in order to do it for them. But it's simple. So this is really like an anti-corporation movement. Why I had to give up my licenses, because they don't want this messaging out there that anybody can do it. Anybody from any walk of life, no matter where you come from, who your dad was, who your mom was, who your grandparents were, what side of the railroad tracks you were from, anybody can do this. But the financial industrial complex doesn't want us to do it. And that's where I create and break down those barriers of how simple it is. It's all in the book, step by step.
The 80-20 rule of finance. Mr. John, what are the few vital concepts that will be deliver 80% of the results for someone just starting their financial literacy journey?
So the younger you are, you don't want to use the 80-20 rule. You want to use the 100% rule. 100% of your money needs to be invested in large entities. Okay. In America, it's Fortune 500 companies, the Googles, the Apples, the Walmarts, the CVS, the Home Depots, pretty much. And I talk about this in the book. Anything you love. If you love Google and use all Google products, that's a great stock to buy. If you love Honda, that's a great stock to buy. If you love Toyotas, Mercedes Benz, those are all great stocks to buy. If your life depends on it, like medical devices, pharmaceutical companies, anything that we need, our lives depend on, or we use every day. And one of my favorite ones is things that people brag about owning. And I give these examples in the book. In 2012, Tesla was coming around. I found out about Tesla and I'm like, people need something different. And I love cars. So I knew electric cars were the thing that Ferdinand Porsche actually created. Porsche. And the people bought the patent off him to shut down electric cars. And this was done in the 1950s that he had this technology. So I knew electric cars were possible. And I knew people need change and something fun and new. So I bought Tesla in 2012. Its stock, every $1 I bought back then has turned into $1,000. Every $1 into $1,000. And it goes back to people brag about things. And people brag about Louis Vuitton bags, right? Go buy Louis Vuitton stock, right? And I break it down in this simple book of how we need to look at things, right? Because people look at things in two different ways. You look at it and see what it is, or you look along it and see what it becomes. And Nvidia, I bought Nvidia in 2009 because I was on my Apple computer and I saw on the graphics card sticker on my Apple, graphics card made by Nvidia. So I already owned Apple stock, but in 2009, I'm like, what's this Nvidia? And so I bought shares in Nvidia in 2009 because I thought, well, everyone loves Apple. And if this company's making their graphics card, this company's probably going to become a something someday. But
Yes.
I bought it. But for 10 years, Nvidia did nothing, right? For 10 years. And if you look at the chart, you'll see that from 2006 to really 2015, it was flat. So when it finally went up a little bit, everyone sold and then it dropped down again. And for 4 years, it stayed flat again. So everyone's like, this is a dog. And then all of a sudden, boom, skyrocket, Nvidia today. But it was
Mm-hmm.
traded for 24 years. It took 24 years for it to get that pop. And that's why my strategy is a get rich slow strategy. All you need to do is buy and hold, do absolutely nothing. True passive investing. And that's why when you're young, my book is written for people under 45 years old because we can sit, we have the time, we can put all our money in these big companies, sit back. And Daniel, in one of the chapters, it talks about Home Depot stock, right? And
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 invested in Home Depot 40 years ago at its initial public offering, $1,000 invested one time, and people that sat on it, today it's worth $22 million. $1,000 is worth 22 million. The problem is people who are older don't have that timeline. And that's why for younger people, I don't subscribe to the 80-20 rule because it will lose us money. But it does take patience, Daniel, because when you see and invest $1,000 and it's worth 10 grand, you're like, oh my God, right? And then to not sell it. And then when that goes to 100 grand, you're like, right? And so, but that's why, and people would never know that they would have had that much. So I try to implore people and really educate on it. Open up two accounts. One, when you want to take profits and you have that itch, satisfy it, sell it in that one account. In the other account, leave it for the long term. So decades down the road, you're like, oh my God, thank you, John. I didn't sell. I have so much money because I let it sit. So the strategy is to have two accounts, one for profit taking because people are going to want to take profits, and the other one, let it ride. And your future self will say, thank you so much for not selling this portion.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for empowering us, Mr. John. Thank you, thank you. And for someone who feels trapped, what is the first practical lever they can pull to create even small amount of breathing room in their budget?
Yep. So this is one of my favorite things. What our grandparents told us, right? Know your budget. This is what you make. This is your expenses. Save the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like having these old school principles. I don't think anybody should really start investing until they have 6 months of fixed expenses in their emergency money count, right? And the way I do this is tell people, and I'll use the simple math here, put $25 a week away to a shoebox. Put it in your bank account, right? Whatever it is. Because people assume $25 a week doesn't mean much. It does. It's if I were to ask people, would you rather do $100 a month or 25 a week? Most people are going to say 25 a week because it's not as threatening. But
Mm-hmm.
$100 a month times 12 months is 1,200 in a year. $25 a week times 52 weeks in a year is $1,300. So putting away $25 a week sounds easier and less intimidating, but it's actually more money than $100 a month. So I tell everybody, start small. You can always increase. You don't ever want to go backwards though. So put $25 a week, $5 a week, $10 a week, $1 a week. It's a habit, right? It's just like working out, it's like eating healthy. It's any habit, whether it's good or bad, can be managed, right? Saving money needs to be a habit. Pay yourself first, just
First.
like you pay your cell phone bill, like you pay your streaming service, your YouTube premium, whatever you pay, put yourself on that board. $25 a week, $10 a week into a shoebox. Don't touch it. And you'll see you can still maintain the same standard of living because you're focusing on savings and investing as part of your fixed expenses.
Mm, yes, definitely was empowering advice. Mr. John, is pursuing a side hustle a necessary step for building wealth when you start from behind? Or it can be distraction from fixing your primary financial engine?
Mhm. So, how to do that?
Yes, please.
So, what I like everybody to do that I've ever worked with, and again, this I'll reiterate, this is for millennials and Gen Zs and future Gen Alphas, right? I'm not being rude, but people who are older than millennials, they're on their own journey. There's not enough time if they haven't started, right? To make a meaningful impact. So, what I like everybody to do that's millennial or Gen Z is write down a list of 10 things you want. It could be have a family reunion in Jakarta, right? It could be
Mhm.
take a family trip to Mexico. It could be buy a dream car. It could be read a novel, buy a book every day, whatever you want. Write down 10 things you want to do in the next 10 years, and then research and assign a dollar amount to it. And then once you do that, put that on your wall and look at it every day and realize I need money to do these things. To me, money is a tool. It should never be a god, right? But we need money in the world to have what we want. And I don't think anybody should be judged if they want an Hermes bag or a Porsche or a Ferrari, or if they want to give money to charity, whatever anyone wants. I think that they should get it no matter what it is. And when you write down your goals, you're so likely to hit them because if you aim at nothing, you hit it with amazing accuracy. If people say, I want to buy a house, okay, what area do you want to live in? How much are the houses? How much mortgage can you get approved for? How much down payment do you have money saved for? If you don't know any of those things, it's a fantasy. It's not a goal. So set down your actual goals, write them down, tie dollars to it, and say, I am going to get that. And look at it every day and say, this is why I'm saving my money. This is why I'm making sacrifices. And it could be again for a dream vacation, right? Or clothes or watches or jewelry. Doesn't matter what your goals are. Give money to church or charity. Doesn't matter. Write them down, tie a dollar amount to it, and work every day with that mindset of, I'm going to get that.
Mm, I'm going to get that for sure.
It's a
So how do you
mindset
help?
thing.
Yeah. So how do you help people move away from comparing themselves to others and define personal, meaningful version of financial success?
It is hard. It is hard, right? I shared my story growing up in Los Angeles, not having money and seeing the celebrities and the Lamborghinis. And it was really hard in that environment. But to be honest, it drove me because I'm like, I'm going to have that. I wanted to buy my mom and dad a house. I wanted to help my little brothers. And I knew only money would be able to allow me to help my parents. I had the Porsches on the walls, the posters, right? I wanted the Rolexes. And so that was a driving force because I was like, I need money to buy those things. If I want to buy my mom a car, that requires money, not hopes and dreams or prayers. So I knew that I had to make money. And that's why I got and became a financial advisor, is because it's a career that's a meritocracy. There was no salary. I got paid based on the commissions that I made from products that I sold clients. And if I didn't do good by clients, there's no way they would keep me as their financial advisor. So I had to be good. I dedicated myself reading articles, research, education, because I wanted to get clients through referrals and make them money. Therefore, I would make money. So you have to know that it's going to be hard to see other people winning, but you don't know their stories. You don't know if their grandparents left them money when they died, or if their parents gave them money for a down payment on a house, or paid for their college, or have a gas card from their family. So never feel bad about yourself, because odds are if they're your peer and they have those things, they've had financial support from parents, even if it was paying for college or paying for gas. If that's not you and you're on your own, like how I was, not born rich, it's a long journey, but you will get there. I've been saving and investing for 24 years now, and now I have all the things I dreamt about. But it just took me longer than everybody else. I'm not smarter. I'm just more diligent and dedicated. I outworked everybody and outsaved. And for 15 years, I didn't have the lifestyle I have now. But now I have it at 43, and I'm so blessed that I didn't lose sight of my goals.
Yes, and when someone inevitably has a financial misstep or setback, what is the key to not getting discouraged and falling back into the old patterns?
Just remember who you're doing it for: your parents, your spouse, your siblings, your community, right? Keep them in mind, because that was my driving force. It wasn't me to have my Porsche, it was to help my mom and dad and brothers. And I didn't have kids or wasn't married. And so that wasn't important to me at the time. It was all about taking care of my mom, dad, and brothers. And then after that, giving myself the luxuries I wanted in life. And luxuries to me at the time were not worrying about gas prices. I didn't want to have to worry about how much gas was to think about it, right? How much milk
Mm-hmm.
was, how much bread was. I wanted to be comfortable. And to me, that's ultimate freedom, is when you can have groceries, gas, car, a family vacation, and not have to stress about it. And so that driving force in the beginning of buying my mom a Cadillac, she always wanted a Cadillac, buying her a Cadillac, retiring my dad from digging ditches and construction. They made all the sacrifices. So I looked at me becoming successful as a duty to my parents, to help them for all the sacrifices they made for us. And so that was my motivating driving force when things were tough and I had a misstep. I never lost sight of my mom and dad and brothers.
Well, congratulations, Mr. John, for your success. We are happy for you. At what point does the focus shift from personal financial stability to building something that can benefit the next generation in your family?
It's now, at 20 years in, 43 years old, the level of assets I have and the knowledge I have, I never thought I would have it in 5 lifetimes. And I'm so grateful to everyone that supported me and believed in me. I'm so grateful for the opportunities I've had. And now that's why I stepped away, and people call me insane from stepping away from the income I've had, the career I've had, to do a venture that there's no money, right? And even books, it's not like I'm going to replace my income on books. At this point, I have enough to maintain what I have right now. And I want to give back. I don't want to be known as just another guy who had cars and houses and this. I want to make an indelible mark on the community and really give resources and hope to people and education. And I'm hoping that this leads to me speaking and writing more books and eventually getting published by a large publishing house and really helping people. I don't want people to pay for courses or membership fees or me as an advisor. I want the companies that do sponsorships on my platforms to pay me my money. And I want all the advice and information to the people who need it the most. I always want it to be free. And this book, Success, is the first step for me to be able to do that, because I will force companies to pay for sponsored ads on my platform by the amount of viewers I have. I just launched this 30 days ago, was the anniversary. Today is the 31st day. And I want to create a movement for the people that they never need to pay for quality advice and guidance.
Again, Mr. John, thank you so much for giving back to the world. We salute you for doing that and hoping for more success and more advocacy like that. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season, Abstract Poetry in third season, and my book 101 review in sixth season as well, Geography 101 or Comedy 101 in third season, and my Food 101 in sixth season as well, Geography 101 Love Letters, Movie 101 Review, Music 101 our fourth season, Science 101, Sex 101 in third season, and my baby podcast, Review 101, Love 101, Mental Health 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, and of course, my Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you
And
listen your
Daniel, can I say one thing?
podcast. Yes.
James 4:17, one of my favorite Bible verses. For it is a sin to know what you ought to do and not do it. And
Mm,
being a man of faith, that Bible verse my father always told me and always resonated. Everyone knows what they ought to do, but don't do it. And he conditioned me to be a man of his word and to do what I say I'm going to do. He's like, if you're going to take care of your family, you do it. And that
you
Bible
do
verse,
it.
James 4:17, has always been important to me. It is a sin for those who know what they ought to do and not do it.
Well, Mr. John, I'm inviting you to be part of Bible Verses 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, all my podcasts. And let's empower people all over the world through your advocacy. So
Count me in.
your personal aha moment, reflecting on your own journey. What was the single biggest financial literacy lesson you learned that changed your trajectory? And how can you listeners apply it?
By buying and holding. I
Mm,
made the mistakes of taking profits, and I saw that I made a bunch of money, and I'm like, let me take this because that's what the talking heads say to do, right? That's what the puppet masters say, take profits. And I look back, and yes, I took profits and sold Nvidia in 2017 when I bought my first house. And I look back now though, and I use that money for a down payment on my house. I bought a $775,000 house and used Nvidia profit as a down payment. If I had not sold that Nvidia stock, that stock that I sold for my down payment would be worth $29 million
mhm,
right now. $29 million. And granted, I used it to buy a down payment for my house. It was great, but I did what the system taught me to do. Take
mhm,
profits, take profits. Now I know why they did it. Because if I had not done that and used 80 grand for a down payment, that money would be worth 29 million today. So
mhm,
buy and hold is the lesson that I made the mistake on, and that's why I'm so have such conviction on it now. Is that if somebody would have gave me that guidance, open two accounts, sell one when you need it, but never get rid of the other one till you're older than 65. I would have done it because it makes so much sense, but nobody taught me that. So now that is one of the biggest lessons in the book I give people is, man, trust me on this. Get two accounts. Never sell all of the stock. Keep some for your future because
mhm,
you will pat yourself on the back. That is the single most important aha moment, regret, sorrow, triumph, moment of joy, overcoming, because I did something good by buying real estate and a house, but yet even doing good, I lost almost $30 million
mhm.
because
So
I
it's
listened to the people in charge.
mhm. So it's true what they said. Invest like Warren Buffett. It's true.
Buy and hold, buy and hold. And even he sells,
But
right? But he also sells
mhm,
because he has $300 billion of liquidity, right? And so, but for average people, we can do both. We can have money today, tomorrow, and forever, right? And
mhm,
we can do that with a strategy. No one can do it without a strategy because you aim at nothing, you hit it with amazing accuracy. Only this is possible through a strategy. And this book is tens of thousands of meetings with clients where their hindsight is our foresight. So I took all that knowledge of decades and mistakes, not just for myself, but from thousands of other people. And all the hindsight is the foresight.
Mr. John D. Romero, thank you so much for sharing Enoch Born Rich to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your book, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
This is the one. This is my life's work now. I have a social YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram that is called JDR. My initials JDR, Profit for the People. I'm just starting it because I'm walking away from my career to do this for the people. Average, hardworking people that don't want to get rich quick, that are care about their families. I'm trying to make a movement. It just started now, January 1st.
Yes, and thank you again for doing that because it will empower people all over the world, most especially those people who want to be rich slowly but surely. So, Mr. John, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Yes, likewise. More to come, people. See you soon.